Hi-ho, everybody. My name is Mare, and welcome to Session 6 of the Souls Confidant and Invisible Sun campaign, set in the surreal, sterile world of Invisible Saturnine. There we go. Created by Monty Cook Games. If I didn't already say it, I'm already blanking. I'm Mare, and I'm your Game Master, and we're going to do the same thing we do every week, where we're all going to go around, say who we are playing, and their character sentence. We're not going to have any downtime this week because we're starting in media res. Because right in the middle of the action. So, Hamnah, start us off, please.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Hamnah, and I use any and all pronouns. Today, I will be playing Roshni, who uses they/them pronouns, and Roshni is an itinerant ardent of the Order of Weavers who caught fire's eye.
See.
Hey y'all, my name's C. I use they, them pronouns. I am playing Alecto, the Curse Maker, who uses they, them, or they/them pronouns. And Alecto is an eremitic stoic apostate who converses with everything. And I'll pass it to April.
Thanks, C. I'm April, and I'm playing Lillian Yoon, a bizarre ardent of the Order of Goetic who splinters into fragments.
Now,
So, Alex.
Oh, that's me. Hi, everybody. My name is Alex. I use they and pronouns, and today I will be playing Eleanor, who is an empathic maker who revels in beauty.
and last but not least, who is also doing our character recap, Val.
Hi everyone, my name is Valiant and I use he, him, his pronouns, and I am playing Ishmael, who uses he, they pronouns. Ishmael is an iconoclastic empath of the Order of Goetics who calls upon the serpent. And I will be doing this week's recap. Today's mission is one of most import. We have to find a lead, some sort of link that I could find to bring me closer to you. Closer to whatever this is. But before I do that, I had to reach out to a companion in Eleanor. She seems to know more than she is ready to let on. And I feel myself equipped to be able to tease some of that out of her. She was more than open to share about previous ties to the Chimera Sodality. Whether or not they're linked to this, though, I have doubts. Works of art and these objects of power, I'm uncertain. Only Eleanor would know more, but I did not thought it appropriate to press. As soon as we spent some time there, we thought it wise to return to Lillian's home. It seemed to make Eleanor quite uncomfortable to be here. But I also did not think it wise to press then. We prepared ourselves, most of us armed, with some sort of weaponry. But I believed it also wise to prepare both myself and Lillian with some entities to guide us on our way. The summoning was successful, despite some negotiating difficulties. Lillian did summon a demon, and I specialize with angels. But it turned out all right in the end as we began making our way to the Hollows. In the Hollows, we met yet another shelter similar to that of the House Without a Key, a home for those who were injured or lost or required shelter for that night. Filled with people, filled with those who are injured. But Kiran was here. You were here. And you are helping. My faith in you only grows stronger. But just as we arrived with more information, we were attacked. And look who is standing before us upon that roof. The one who took you that night. Let us finish this.
As a reminder, Invisible Sun is designed for mature audiences. Sex, drugs, crimes, violence, body horror, classism, and some degree of BDSM aesthetics are present in the core rules of the game. Safety tools are being used by all of us in the cast on and off screen at all times, but if you are ever uncomfortable, please take a step away. Your safety is more important. Specific content warnings for our game include violence, depression, strained/complicated relationships, anxiety, panic attacks, and self-destructive behavior. And if you want to help our cast and help us, we do have a little tip link, and we have hidden knowledge bonuses, some lovely major minor fluxes, and some character playlists at the end. So, as Ishmael has already said, we last left off with Eleanor casting a spell at Avelia and it passing. For a reminder, this spell is called The Teeth of Their Teeth Frighten Us the Most. The teeth of a close being each form their own tiny mouth for a few moments. These mouths begin revealing some of the being's secrets. So Eleanor, you cast this spell up at Avelia, and she freezes next to you, Roshni, because you are right there. And her mouth opens up much wider than seems comfortable, and you hear the chitter-chattering of many teeth, more that are in her mouth, as you see these little tiny mouths grow with their own jagged teeth. And they just begin talking and muttering. And you and Eleanor both hear a secret. These little mouths are high-pitched and just chitter-chattering as they utter the words, which I'm not going to do in the voice, just so you can all understand me. Kieran's next crimson dot target is at Inkblot. Now, a little bit of information. Roshni, I don't know if you've ever been to any art galleries, but in art galleries, a lot of the time, the works are for sale. And if someone wants to buy something, the curator or staff puts a little red dot on it to mark that it has been sold. However, Eleanor, crimson dot means something else to you. This is usually an indicator in the sodality that something is either going to be stolen or destroyed. And the date is 2 weeks from now that the teeth utter before chittering away and fading. Do we want to go back into an initiative? Since at least for Avelia, it is time sensitive on what she is going to do. So everyone, please roll me movement initiative tasks. You can add movement bene, etc. to add to your roll and go from there.
I got a 6.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 2.
Ishmael, all right.
I know.
Okay.
I got 1 handsome 0.
Alecto.
Full 0. None movement with nothing beef.
And Eleanor.
1.
Motherfuckers, you are all so bad at this.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to use a bene.
No, that's fine, but none of y'all are before her.
I have no bene to spend. I already spent it last time.
So what happens is we need more intense music. I'm sorry. We are still in fucking combat. Lillian just shot a gun. Lillian, my dear, please make me a dodge defense roll. And as your forte goes off, you can do it. I have faith in you.
Yeah, because my forte is +1 to all dodge.
Yep, that's right.
I rolled a 4.
This being that was standing next to Avelia, which has dark skin and multiple eyes on its, actually fairly featureless face besides these eyes and horns, barefoot in a very nice suit, points a finger at you, Lillian. And a flash of fire hits you hard, dealing you 7 points of fire damage.
First, my health. What does my demon do?
It is not strong enough to. It kind of like just evaporates some of the water. It tries to it gets in front of you, and it tries to protect you, but it's water. It's not strong enough, whatever this creature is, and it burns a hole in your demon protector and hits you. So I'll say you take 5 points of damage instead.
5 points of damage. Cool.
Since it took a little bit of the brunt. 3 injuries equal 1 wound, and when you do a wound, you can spend a physicality bene to cancel out that wound.
So I took 5.
Total. Are you going to use a physicality to cross off a wound?
How many physicality do I have? So, I only have 2 physicality.
When you hit
Yes.
3 wounds, you die. Just as a reminder. So you take 2. So you only have a total of 2 injuries.
Okay,
Since-
2 injuries.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Avelia on her hand takes out a bottle from her pocket and completely opens it. And this entire roof is covered in moths that just kind of spill out of this jar. Roshni, you don't hear a thing, but I will just say something did drop out of her chest and onto the ground in a little bloody, little bloody drop. But now the entire top of the roof is covered in fluttering moths, and Roshni, you can't hear anything. It is silent. Everybody else.
Have we pulled a card?
I didn't, thank you. The Compelling Voice was the first card of the game. Compelling Voice is value 2, Secrets Raven, Books, and Flame. We don't have any gallants in the party. Control, Domination, and Persuasion. Invisible Magic is enhanced. Thank you for the reminder, Alex. All right, literally, whatever order y'all want to do.
Okay, I have a question. Did Avelia react at all to this trinket literally forming inside of her chest and bursting from it?
She did. Her reaction was surprise, some pain, but most of her attention is focused on the person who shot her.
Valid.
Yeah, I'd be kind of mad too if someone shot me with a rifle.
I think then Roshni would firstly move forward to go and pick up the trinket that was dropped. What does it look like?
The trinket is a very elegant pen.
Okay. Roshni's going to take that trinket and quickly put it into their satchel.
Sure.
Before
that can be a free action. You can take it.
Cool. Before walking up to Avelia and like trying to get her attention. So I think Roshni, because presumably we can't hear anything up here, Roshni's not going to try and talk, but is going to like tap Avelia on the shoulder and hope to try and like get her attention back.
She has this very long braid, like a heavy long braid, and she kind of whips her head around, and it like you can if there was sound, you'd be able to hear it slicing through the air. It's like that fast, and she just kind of glares at you.
Does that count as my action, or can I keep going?
I'll say you can keep going, but just keep in mind that roughly it's a little more abstract than D&D, but action scenes are anywhere between like 6 and 10 seconds. So
Okay, cool. In that case, the only thing that I will do next is, because Roshni had come up to this roof and had, greeted Avelia and said that they are a big fan of hers, Roshni is going to sort of do this like very elaborate like bow towards Avelia and like hold out a hand for Avelia's hand. And I will say that is my turn.
okay, fair. Make a persuasion roll.
Okay, I'm going to use a hidden knowledge based on just everything that we know about Amelia and about Kieran. I also have a +2 to persuasion, and do I have any interaction I can use? I do! Haha! So that's 4 that I will be adding to this roll. I got a 7 + 4, so 11.
You can tell she's making note of you, but also her attention is divided because obvious reasons. Anyone else?
Are there more demons down in the street?
Nothing that's within immediate close range that you can hit, but there are, yes.
Yeah, I think Alecto is kind of like too in it. Like, I think they hack their huge fucking sword like through another one of those horrible little beetle bugs.
Oh.
And they just kind of like and they just like start moving down the street to wherever they see like the next like bit like away from everyone else. Like they're just like everything here is done and I'm like going to the next place where there's stuff to cut down.
Fair.
Yep. I think that is what Alecto does in this moment. But the hand armor is like clenched around their greatsword, like their knuckles almost like white underneath it.
Destroying more explodey bugs. Got it. Ishmael, Eleanor, Lillian.
Okay.
What?
This is difficult because Ishmael's very overwhelmed.
Fair.
Because distance, is Avelia or the creature within a long range of Ishmael?
Yes. Yes, they are.
I think seeing that the creature just attacked Lillian, Ishmael's just snaps his head towards them towards her as he sees that fragmenting begin once again. And he's not gonna walk because that's a whole action, but he's beginning to, and as he does, he pulls upon the shards of magic, whisper and pulls it towards his mouth as he whispers, "Do not do that again," and casts paraprosexia at that.
Okay, and which
And the
spell
entity.
is this?
This is paraprosexia level 1. I cause one being I point at within a long range to become distracted by thinking about whatever happened to them most recently. The next action is hindered by 2.
Okay, you need to roll. So you can
All right.
add, is this a +1 die or anything, or is it just a
It
level
says
1
+1 die, yes.
Okay. So you're going to roll 2 die as a regular and a magical die. Just so
All right.
you know, a new mechanic for some people, when you start attacking like certain entities, at some points you might need to roll 2 successes in order to affect them. And this is one of those
Okay.
cases. So you need to
All right.
You need to succeed on both dice. So you can add your level 1 spell, level 1 to the spell.
Okay.
I don't think you can
So-
add anything else.
No sorcery or anything?
You're spending sorcery to cast the spell, and that's what's
Okay.
already added to your venture.
Okay, sounds good. Understood. I'll just minus that now. And sortilege, I can't expend that at all. or
I
no?
will say you can use a sortilege to add 3 dice instead of 2.
I wouldn't know what that does, so what would that do?
It'll increase your chances of success.
All right, I'll do that. Hold on, let me just quickly grab another d10.
2 magic die and 1 regular.
All right. Come on, dice, don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. Okay. 5, 9, 8.
No.
Fuck.
Lillian, how are you
We
feeling
fucked up.
after
I think we
breaking?
fucked up.
How are you feeling after breaking? What's going on?
Lillian is starting to fracture, and though it did hit her where she got hit has a giant hole in it now, and she is very angry, very upset. Can I get to them? Can I get to a few? Wait, I can only do an act. I can only move and not do an action, right?
Yes. Eleanor,
How
or I was gonna say,
many?
go ahead. I was going to ask if
feet?
Eleanor knows what she wanted to do, but you're within close range. No, near range.
Oh, so I am near.
Yeah, no, so you'd
Okay.
have to move you'd have to move and then do something.
So I'm not near.
Yeah. You're within
Okay.
near range, but if you wanted to get physically up in their
Oh no, I just need to
personal
be. It
space-
says nearby.
Nope, you can do whatever you want to do with near.
Lillian, not realizing what she's going to do, points a finger at her and says, "How would it feel if he was you?" And I'm going to cast Ego to Stream.
Oh. You need to roll. What level spell is that?
Level 1. So I roll magic die, a regular die.
Yep, I am looking at it right now.
This if it works, it's gonna be really annoying. And can I use a sorcery?
You spend sorcery to cast the spell.
Okay, I spend a sorcery. Can I use a sortilege then?
To roll 3 dice, yes.
Yes. Okay. Oh, God.
And let me know what numbers you get on the magic dice.
I'm gonna roll 2 magic dice separately. 6 and a 7.
Mm-hmm.
And a 9.
Yeah, as you cast your spell,
It's actually a curse.
it is a curse, yeah.
Which is the big deal.
Yeah, as you cast your spell curse, she grows very confused and a little panicked as she looks at Roshni's face, at the demon, at you, and basically every other person. And
And things, the moths.
Yep, every single fucking moth. For reference, everyone, Ego Extreme causes a nearby being to see all other beings as having their face. Yep.
I sell that in my shop.
Yes, you do. You do. Eleanor.
So what's going on the roof right now? Is it Roshni, Avelia, and a creature?
An entity, yes. And a
Okay.
bunch of moths.
Yeah. Can I see all 3 of them? Are they all 3 in direct line of sight?
Yeah.
Okay. How much control does Roshni seem to have over the situation?
She hasn't been, they haven't been attacked yet. That's really about as much as you can get out of it. They're kind of looking at each other.
Roshni is specifically bowing with her hand out for Avelia to take, if that helps you at all.
Roshni being sus.
Sure.
Just a little bit. Go.
All right. So I'll tell you what. Can I hold an action?
To do what? Or what?
I'm
What's the reaction in response to?
This is in response to either Roshni seems like they lose control of the situation and things start, becoming unexpected, fast movements, running away, escape, etc., or anything hostile towards Roshni or anything else. And so what I'm going to do is I want to aim my pistol at Avelia because I'm seeing red at the revelation of that secret.
Okay, cool. So back to the top of the round. Roshni. Avelia reaches into her, pocket and puts something in your hand. And then she holds out her hand to the entity who takes it. This is where your thing will go off, Eleanor, if you wanted to fire at her. Because she's about to run.
I don't know what I want to do, so let me roll for it.
Okay.
Odds I shoot, evens I don't. Odds, fucker. Let's go! All right, so let's see. My pistol is level 4. I cast V1's Teleosis on it last session, so that's another +1 to that. And I would like to spend a Bene from my accuracy pool.
Do you want to
So
tell
that-
us about your pistol that you got?
Yeah, so in the intervening time, I went over to Teth's shop and I purchased one of the guns there. It is a self-aiming pistol, and it looks like a small little Mauser pistol. And I'm seeing people move. I'm mad, and I'm fucking going for it. So I will shoot, and I don't think Avilia is a person, so I don't think I'm going to use a sortilege.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's roll. All right, that is a 9.
Yeah, tell me what you do before she disappears.
I'm not like strictly trying to kill this person, but I'm not necessarily intentionally avoiding anything. So I'm just aiming center of mass, and I'm just as I see like movement, especially as I see her grab the hand of this entity that fired off a shot at Lillian, I'm just shooting.
You, as well as Lillian hit her last time, you kind of hit in like the other shoulder, just as her hand grabs the entities and they both are enveloped. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Can I try to react before they disappear?
That's not, the reactions don't work. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But you'll like the item I gave you though, that she handed off to you. I'll send it to you in just a second. And they are enveloped in darkness and they disappear. We are out of combat. Action scene.
Where's Alecto?
Alecto's halfway down the street covered in demon blood. Like, covered in it. Like, I don't know where the rest of the demons are going, or the people who are fighting the demons, or like, they're like still going. Like, they're an initiative in their own La La Land, actually, is what they're doing.
I'm gonna chase after Alecto.
And I think as you reach Rim, Ree like swings the sword around like at you, like they're just like turning around to like they sense your movement behind them. They like come at you for a minute, and there's like this jolting moment where they kind of pause.
It's okay. It's okay.
Where's everyone else?
Go back down the street, just right where you left us.
And Alecto kind of like they blip into Roshni's eyes, I think, to see just the moths, I assume.
And I think right now, actually, you would see the moths kind of in their periphery, and they're actually looking at the object in their hand. So you would get a good look at what it is. And I will let Mayor describe it.
It is a simple brass amulet. Just miscellaneous carvings of the blue, representing the blue sun on it. Just a simple leather thong.
So you would see Roshni kind of like looking at that and like turning it over in their hand before they put it into their satchel, and you get kind of like a glimpse into their satchel before they like turn to look back at the moths and try to find everyone else.
Yeah, the moths do eventually like go back into a jar that was left on the roof, and I'll put this in the chat for y'all if you want to use it.
Take that jar.
You can. I'll still put it in like the general chat for everybody to look at. Yeah, so it's fun.
It's group moths.
Group moths.
Group moths, group moths.
Yeah.
Ishmael's running to Lillian.
Oh,
I'm
like,
in the sky.
Yeah, she's,
I'm like 50
you're in
feet
the
up in the sky.
I
I'm
forgot
flying.
you're in the
yeah,
sky.
I'm flying.
yeah, she's flying.
I will probably land next to you though, and not realize that there's still a hole in my body.
I have a question about the glass that breaks off of you. They're physical, right?
Yes.
As you are landing, Ishmael kind of slides to the spot where all of the glass has fragmented and shattered and has begun, like, from one of his bags, just like pulls out a bit of the cloth and just tries to pick up as many pieces of glass as he can. And as soon as you land, he stands up holding all these pieces as much as he can and goes, "Lillian, are you alright?" And he's just looking at you up and down, up and down. Sees your injuries. That was too close. That was too close.
I don't. What did we do? And she'll gently reach out and touch the glass in your in the cloth, and it just like absorbs into her. And you see the hole start to reform. What did we do?
Look at me. Tell me what you see.
I see you. Everything's okay. Where's everyone else? Where's Roshni?
He'll point up to the roof. I assume Roshni's still up on the roof.
Yeah, they're trying to like make their way down the building.
There's
Roshni's all right. It seems that they're all right.
Everyone is okay. There's Alecto and Eleanor. We need to go after them.
We do. But for now, you are injured. And then you see him kind of like pull that cloth that he has. He kind of like unfurls it. And wherever you are injured, kind of just slowly drape that cloth around you. Okay? Let's take it so we don't have to go running. And as he's putting this around you, his hand is shaking. And if you allow him, he will... he almost asks permission to put an arm over you.
At that, as you do that, Lillian almost just kind of breaks into a full-on hug and holds you for a moment, also shaking. Just holding you in that moment.
Ishmael looks stunned for a moment, not expecting that. That holds you and just kind of like hands also shaking. And just you hear him breathe. Be okay. And then begin walking to the group wherever we end up gathering.
Roshni, there are like fire escape steps outside on the building, so you don't have to go inside trying to get through like locked doors. So,
ooh, is Lillian injured at all, or is it kind of like everything's formed back and you're good to go?
Well, game-wise, I do have 2 injuries still.
And how that manifests is up to you.
The hole is closed, but you do see it's almost like bits of glass are falling off, but before it hits the ground, just kind of get reabsorbed as I'm just trying to hold my form together.
I think at that, when Roshni gets down to the group and like sees that Lillian is hurt, they're just kind of gonna wordlessly like go over to Lillian, and then kind of like cock their head, looking at her arm, to ask like permission to try and help.
Of course.
Mare, I would like to cast a spell specifically to try and keep the... okay, I'm trying to cauterize the pieces essentially that are falling off of Lillian so that they are stuck where they are. So from fire, I want to use the heat quality, and then from lust, I want to use pleasure so that if Lillian is feeling any pain, the pain stops, and instead it actually feels kind of pleasurable for Lillian.
The fan.
Not in that way, just so that you're not in pain anymore.
BDSM themes. BDSM themes.
A little bit warm over here for some
We're
reason.
we're really upgrading the gay today, y'all.
Yeah.
I only expected to get gayer as the session numbers go higher.
What
Wait till we
level
hit
of
double
spell
digits.
would you say that is?
Do you want to mechanically heal her?
Yeah.
To do 2. So pleasure and
heat.
Pleasure and
Because I'm trying to cauterize it so that it stays together.
Yeah.
All of the different pieces.
Normally that wouldn't work for healing, but I like how the description and flavor works. So we'll say to do heal 2 injuries, that'll be 2 sorcery.
Okay, yeah. And do I have to roll for it, or does it just
no.
happen?
Because I'm assuming Lillian's not saying no.
Allowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think though what it looks like is Roshni puts their hands like on Lillian's arm, on their shoulder where things are falling, and they just kind of like run their hand along all of the pieces like as they're falling, and like almost as if they're like gonna scoop them up, and a fire forms in their hand and almost creates like this channel for the pieces to follow as they like fit back into Lillian like little puzzle pieces. And you can see, I think, if you're okay with it, April, just for flavor, just for maybe for the next little while, the cracks between all of the pieces are like red and orange.
Oh no, the cracks of that area are now forever going to be red and orange.
Alecto and Eleanor, what's going on as y'all two come back to the group? How are you feeling?
I think
both
how
of
am I
you.
feeling?
Both of you, how are
Good
you feeling?
question. Good question, Mayor. I think it's about that time that Alecto like makes it back to the group. And like through the mask you can hear this like heavy breathing. Which is I think the most sound that Alecto has made when rewalks. But like their cloak, like the bottom of it is like drenched and there's like blood like smattered across the mask, across like their body. Although none of it seems to actually be theirs. Right, and they're still like holding the sword with the hand that has the hand armor on it as well, like just kind of like their masked head just kind of like pulling back and forth as they like come back to the group.
How tightly are you holding the sword?
Really, really tightly, like white knuckled.
Okay, gotcha.
And how about you, Eleanor? How you feeling?
I'm calming down. I'm chilling out.
Okay.
I'm actually going to check on Alecto for a second. If you'd like, I can help calm you down a little bit.
What?
Sort of incline my head towards white knuckles on the sword.
No, this is how it goes.
Okay.
This is fine.
Just wanted to ask.
What are you doing with that? And Alecto like glances down at the gun.
We seem to have got ourselves into something dangerous. So
If we run into danger, you get yourself into danger.
we knew
You
we
could
were
have
going
waited
in.
back at the house.
I could have. But I'm in this now just as much as you are.
I wish you weren't. Not because I don't think you're capable, but because I wish you weren't.
Right now, I think I have to be.
Eleanor. And Alecto kind of like pauses. You can fight, you can protect yourself. But if anyone needs to die, please let me do it. I don't want you to have to live with that. I already do.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Alecto knows that that was not an answer, but nods anyway. And I think finally kind of like does like one like huge like flick with their sword, and this like smatter of demon blood just kind of like goes against the concrete. And then they like sheath it back over their shoulder. Lillian, you look... What happened to you? What
I
happened?
got hurt. It happens. I'm fine now. Are you okay?
And I think Alecto also kind of like, everyone's kind of, I think, worrying around Lillian, you know? And I think Alecto also like goes to reach out to touch you. But before I think their fingers stop like just short, and they like pull pull back. I don't, just like as the flavor of like that curse still like resonating, and they like pull their hand back, and their like mask fixes you again. What did you do? What did you just do?
I didn't. I don't really know. I didn't like that they were hurting us, and I thought maybe if we looked like them, they wouldn't hurt us. And now that's all that Ophelia can see is their face on everyone and everything. Actually, that they might be stuck with that until they get it removed. That might just, I don't know exactly how it works afterwards.
Did you just manifest a curse, Lillian?
I did magic. Is that not what everyone can do?
I've never cursed anyone, Lillian. Or at least I've never tried.
I'm no expert on curses, but Alecto, what do you think?
What would I think? Is that like a normal thing?
It's not uncommon for Visley to know how to cast curse spells.
But it is uncommon for someone to not know how to cast a curse spell and then cast one anyway. Manifesting your desires through magic can have lasting effects. As we have discussed, curses are those lasting effects. They last for a long time. But if you're saying that you curse them, then then they might show up in my shop anyway.
That could, I was hoping that maybe if something stuck that they would have to do something to remove it, and we would be able to find them easier.
Curses are dangerous, Lillian. They can't be trifled with. Please. Please.
I won't, I promise I won't do it again unless there is no other option.
I think, though, Alecto, Lillian did what she thought was best for the situation. And really, if we think about it, darlings, Avelia will have to come back. There's nobody else that I know of in Saturnine who can do what you do. So really, this is good for us, right?
And Electra just kind of sighs and leans back again.
Ishmael's hold around Lillian, kind of, you feel, his arm is over you after that healing from Roshni, and Lillian, you feel him kind of like press you closer.
Lillian remembered something today. I think that is cause for celebration.
I suppose you did remember something.
Yeah, that's... I remembered I can curse people. That's a good thing to remember.
It's
Well,
power,
what is it?
Lillian.
That grip tightens around you on your shoulder, Lillian, and you hear Ishmael kind of say very softly, "Remember what I said. No matter what happens, no matter what we find out at the end of that tunnel, all right? I'll be here."
For what it's worth, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I think just because we don't know anybody else who does what Alecto does doesn't mean that there's not such a person out there. So we won't necessarily count on Ophelia showing back up. If she does, though, that would be very fortunate.
I also would
Mare.
like.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, no, go. I was just going to ask a question.
Yes.
Do
Go
I,
ahead.
in character, know what my amulet does already? Or is this something I have to discover that I just have out of character knowledge about?
Let me just quickly see what level it was again. What level was it? It's a low enough level where I would say that you in general would get the gist of what it is. Yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Val, continue.
Sorry, Ishmael would just bring up while the conversation is about whether or not Avila is going to come up again. He will bring up, we also have to deal with the very important reality that we have targets on our backs now. I humbly suggest we regroup. Perhaps somewhere not at our shelters or regular places that we stay.
Roshni just kind of rolls their eyes and goes, okay, I know a place. But it will take, I think, okay. Don't be alarmed when I say this. You'll be okay, I promise. But you'll have to take just a little bit of damage in order to get there. But I promise I can mitigate those effects.
I was mostly suggesting the house without the key, but you have a different location.
Is that not a regular shelter?
What, are you taking us through a burning forest or something?
How did you know? Have you been there before, Alecto?
I was making a joke for the first time in my life.
It's not much of a joke if it's true.
I'm learning from you then.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, you know what? Let's go to the house without a key. I think that might be better, actually.
Wouldn't a place that people couldn't just walk into be a better idea?
You would think that.
If we're trying to get away from people.
I mean, when I arrived at Eleanor's home, the first thing some lovely folk that were staying there mentioned is that you don't cause trouble in the house. That was something even Kiran mentioned to me in passing once.
Just
If
in
you
general.
value your continued existence, you don't cause trouble at the house.
That is like, if you've heard anything in general, Lillian, like if you've ever made any inquiries about the house without a key, that is a very common saying, and very literally, though it hasn't been, the reason why has not been shown in a very long time. But it's a very common saying that you don't fuck around in the house without a key.
Eleanor, is your house still mad at me?
I suppose we'll find out.
Then we should probably get going.
Yeah, let's go.
Are you making any pit stops before you head back to Fartown?
So let me check.
Are there injured people in the immediate vicinity right now?
Most of the things that are injured, are broken, are dead, are demons right now, actually.
Okay.
Anybody that has been hurt that Eleanor helped last session, the one person with a star as a head, they're all gone. And if you were paying attention at all during the conversations, especially when like Alecto was finishing some things off, they actually skedaddled after they were safe.
Yeah, sounds good.
Before we do leave, I will take a few photos of the area and
Okay.
the battlefield and everything.
All right. Sounds good. Anything else? As soon as you head out past the street that you are on, the Hollows is still dirty. it's still gross, it's still dank, and smells disgusting, now with the tang of coppery blood in the air. But as you do eventually get back to the gate back into Fartown, and those same Vizsla there were, it looks like they had a like shield up in front of the gate, but they kind of lower it as you approach. And they give you a nod, a very grim nod, especially at you, Alecto, covered in blood and ichor and everything like that. But they don't say anything unless you say something first. Fartown, on this side of the arch, is as busy as ever, because as you pass through the gate, it's this little steady pop-up stalls, bakeries, food, coffee area, which is still bustling even in the evening. You get lots of looks, though, Alecto, and anyone else who possibly got sprayed with who happened just to be in Alecto's range. But it's simple enough to get back to the house without a key, and as you approach, the door opens on its own slowly to welcome you inside.
Hey, it seems like your house is not mad at me anymore.
It's good to hear. Just let's try and keep it that way.
I mean, as long as we don't go back to the Blue Royal, it's fine, right?
Should be, I guess. So I'll bring everybody back into that little workshop area where I had that conversation with Ishmael as well.
Yeah. You do see like a handful of people in the house just sitting around, at least one or two people in the kitchen just shooting the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they're having dinner. But
yep.
Yeah, Eleanor's workshop.
As Alecto gets back there, they like shrug off their cape, you know, and they just kind of let it fall into like around their feet. And then they go to take their mask off. And it's like they usually just tip it up over their face, but they like kind of clip, and there's something pressed against the mask on the inside as the bracelet, the hand armor that they're wearing on their hand falls into dust. And they take out the real hand armor that was pressed inside of their mask, and they start putting it back on their hand, even though they haven't actually washed yet. I had a contingency plan, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
C messages me and like, I'm fucking doing this shit, just so you know.
So Alecto, even though their hands are still kind of like bloody, they start like clipping the hand armor back on to their hand.
I think at that, Roshni just starts laughing. Doesn't even say anything, is just laughing.
And poor Alecto's face is kind of grim. Like, even at the laugh, their eyes just kind of like flick up for a moment, search Roshni's face like they're looking for something, and then they look back down and keep going with the clasps. They still seem kind of far away.
There is a armor indentation in Alecto's face from being pressed up against all day.
Love it.
Last couple hours.
Lillian, take a picture of it. Roshni's gonna whisper that to Lillian.
As the shutter clicks, Alecto pulls their dagger, like the sound, like they're back in, like they like pull the dagger like halfway out, and then they realize they see the camera, and they sheath it again.
Roshni told me to.
Immediately given up. Immediately.
I'm sorry, Owl. I just thought...
What did you think, little rabbit? That games of blood are tricks and for fun?
Tricks, maybe. Blood, not so much.
No, not so much. What now? Did we learn anything?
Roshni, did you hear anything?
Roshni will walk over to Eleanor's workbench and just kind of sit themselves on it. And then, like, not really looking at the group, their eyes kind of like glaze over for a little bit as they're kind of looking over at the walls, thinking about something, and then they focus back and they, with one hand, just kind of pull into their satchel and pull out the amulet. And I imagine it's like on a string or like on a loop or something, so they just kind of like hold it and dangle it out. Well, the moths, oh, by the way, and then they also pull out the jar of moths and put it on the workbench. These moths are a magical item that make it so that we can't hear anything, so I wasn't able to talk to Avelia, but this, I think, is a sign that Avelia wants to talk to me. It's a way to find her again. Relatively reliably, I must add.
You would recognize it, Ishmael. It's a little different than the one you had. A little different than the one you had.
But I recognized it then? Because I believe I repaired Ishmael's.
No, this is something else.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah. This is an ephemera object.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I see that?
Roshni's eyes kind of like squint at Alecto at that question. I don't remember you letting me touch your fancy objects, Alecto.
If you want to jump through and see what it sounds like. Come, let's talk to it.
And Roshni will hand it over to Alecto and then immediately swap their senses so that they are seeing and hearing everything that Alecto is seeing and hearing.
So Alecto turns the object over in their hands, and I would like to use my next level forte ability called Language of the Voiceless.
Okay.
It is level 4, no cost, and it means that I can speak to any inanimate objects. This ability does not grant me any influence over objects I speak to, only the ability to converse with them.
Okay, I'm pulling this up quickly. To converses with everything. Speak to any inanimate object. This ability does not grant you any particular influence. Okay, yeah. You can speak to this item.
And I think for everyone else, it just kind of sounds like Alecto is mumbling, you know, like as they like look down and they're just kind of like, But I think like the way that like it works that like, it's hard to describe. It's like Alecto's like talking to a person now. That's just kind of in their hand, this amulet. Hello. Are you willing to speak with me?
Who the hell are you?
My name's Alecto.
Alec, got it.
You have someone else you're familiar with.
Maybe.
You seem rather protective.
Nah. You just seem like a stick in the mud.
I promise I actually like talking to you more than I like talking to them. And Alecto kind of smiles at Roshni.
Well, you got good taste.
Tell me about it. Listen, my friends say that you could help us find someone.
What's in it for me? Who are you looking for?
We're looking for the person who used to hold on to you.
Ah. What about her? You know you can just use me, right?
I wouldn't like to. Because then you might disappear.
Yeah,
and how
that's
unfortunate that would be for you.
Yeah, it's how it works. I'm still an object. I don't really
There's
got
so
that
many
many feelings.
But there's so many interesting things to see.
Nah.
More conversations to be had.
You know, I don't got any control over that because I just see the inside of someone's fucking pocket all the time.
And how would you like it if I carried you around my neck so you could see something a little bit brighter? My friend Roshni here goes all over the place.
Make me a persuasion check. Yeah, I'm making you roll against this fucking amulet.
What about it? What is this?
Are you making it so Roshni has to wear a necklace now?
I guess on the pouch, whatever.
What is happening?
We're
Invisible
having a
sun.
conversation.
It's invisible sun is happening, yo.
I love this.
What do we need to do to make this an NPC that stays all the time? How do we make this a permanent NPC? Because I love this
I'm
amulet.
getting us a pet. Don't worry about it. Could I use a hidden knowledge that Alecto knows how to talk to objects
Yeah.
and generally speaking knows what they like?
Yeah, this is gonna be against the level of the object, which is like I think I level 4. Level 4.
Okay, I rolled a 6.
Oh, you're fine.
Anyway, so
All right. What do you want to know?
I'd like to know the location of the pocket that you were just with.
Ah. What do you want to know? Like where?
Where? How? Why? Anything you can let me know.
Well, I can tell you. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. First of all, I can't see outside the pocket. If I can give you a general idea.
Please.
A really, really long fucking train ride. Outside the city.
Outside Saturnine.
Yeah.
Huh.
And some trucking and some walking a little bit.
You've been all around, haven't you?
Yeah.
Shame you've only ever been on the inside of a pocket.
Unfortunate, but you're gonna change that, right?
I promised I would.
Yeah, she talks to a lot of people. Yells at a lot of people, too.
Who does she yell at most of the time?
Oh, her sibling. Kidding.
Ah, Kieran. You know, I know somebody who's looking for Kieran.
Oh. What about it?
What do they yell about most of the time?
Oh, mostly threats.
In what direction?
All of them.
Oh, back and forth.
Oh, no. She just yells at them. Also, orders. Seems to be the mouthpiece for their dad or something like that, telling them where they need to go next and what they need to do, or else dad's just gonna ask them some questions. Not the fun questions either.
Bad questions.
Whispered questions.
Whispered questions. Interesting.
And if you want to roll an intellect task to see what these whispered questions are, you may.
I do indeed. Please. Oh, dear darling, no. This is a 2.
Can I help at all because I'm listening to this conversation?
You may also roll, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let Roshni have a brain
All right,
cell
I'm
here.
gonna spell
because Alecto
a
does not.
single brain cell, which is hilarious because that's actually the number of intellect, Bene, I have total.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to spend 1. Yeah, Roshni's not very smart. It's fine.
Surprise.
7 plus 1 is 8.
Yeah, so you would know that the 7 whispered questions are a set of questions which, if someone asks them and the person that they were asked to answers incorrectly or insincerely, destroys your soul.
I think at that, Roshni is like, takes a moment at the mention of the whispered questions. And then, like, their eyes go wide. And the fire in their eyes is, like, raging at this point. And they look up at Alecto. Like, just with this look of shock. Do you know what those are?
And you just hear Roshni, the rest of you also hear Roshni ask this to Alecto, because they don't know what the conversation is.
And I think there's this odd moment where Alecto looks up at Roshni and they can see themselves through Alecto's eyes for like a minute, you know? And they just, they shake their head no.
Let's just say it's so... If you are not sincere when you answer any of those questions, the whispered questions, it destroys your soul, the very essence of what makes you you, your ability to cast magic, it's not good.
Alecto nods once, turns back to the amulet. Seems like your pocket's brother, sibling, is in quite a lot of danger in that case.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
Mm.
I don't
Happens. Has it?
What?
Has it happened before?
Let me think. Yeah, but not to them. Usually people who have pissed off their dad.
Do you know who their dad is by chance?
9.
King 9. Thank you. Do you have something that I can call you?
No.
Would you like one? A name?
If you want to. Makes no difference to me.
How about, you said it's like an amber pendant?
Bronze, I think, is what I said.
Bronze.
It is a brass amulet.
How about tack? Like a
Yeah.
brass tack.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, tack. I'll get you set up with a nice view. But first, I really need you to tell me where you last remember that pocket going. Consistently.
Oh, consistently?
Home base, if you would.
Consistently. Just let me think. South.
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 How far south?
Long train ride worth.
And do you think that I could continue to consult you as we go?
Not gonna
Jog
change the
your
knowledge
memory a
that I
little?
already knew.
See, I'd like very much to keep you from disappearing. So the more we can talk, better it is for you.
Yeah, well, I'll think about it. Give me that nice view.
Thanks, Tack. And Alecto pulls back and hands the amulet to Roshni.
Roshni will pull back into their own senses, and they look at it, like go to put it on, and then they shake their head because they're like, this does not go with any of my outfits, and they tie it to like the strap of their satchel, and they'll just tie it like a few times so that it's not going to come loose. So it's just always there. And given that Roshni takes very good care of this satchel, Tack can rest assured that they will not be hurt or bumped in any way.
We have a pet amulet now. Cool. I'm fine with it. This is invisible sun, y'all.
I got really scared and really angry for a split second when I thought Roshni was going to put it in their pocket. I was like, don't you dare. I am now emotionally connected to this amulet.
Yeah.
Alecto leans back. That was actually a rather good conversation.
I'm sorry, what just happened?
Did you know that Kieran's father is King 9?
After the interaction we just had at the Hollows only, but confirmed now, I assume.
Ishmael, do you remember the permanent death?
I do remember that, yes.
It would appear that King 9 is operating in a different way of bringing about that death. The whispered questions.
7 whispered questions.
And I would know this if it is said.
If you can make a roll, but also Roshni also knows, but it's Roshni, so if you want to make a quick intellect roll.
Sure. I got high intellect. You spent a Bene 8.
Yeah, you know what they are.
This is gonna be the first time Ishmael swears. Well, fuck.
Proud of you, Ishmael.
Ishmael, there's no need to get so worked up, darling.
It seems like perhaps there is.
Ishmael looks at you. Alecto. What about these whispered questions?
It seems Avelia is holding them over Kieran's head. The ability to ask them. Unless they carry out whatever orders their father is interested in pursuing. So I will give you this, Ishmael. You were right. Kieran is not acting as they would.
You don't just see, but hear Vasuki and Shesha hiss. And Ishmael is keeping such a poker face, but the snakes speak something entirely differently.
The pendant remembers being south. A long train ride south so far. In fact, it's no longer even in Saturnine.
Not in Saturnine. Long
No.
train ride.
Good and bad, I suppose. Only so many train lines outside the city. Only so many of them go south.
And we can keep asking it questions as long as we don't use it up.
Or anger it.
Well, just let me keep interfacing with it.
Sure.
Have I told you how remarkable of that gift is of yours? Because I'll say
does
it
get
now.
rather. It gets rather loud in here, Ishmael. I have a hard time sleeping.
As this conversation is going on, Lillian, Umbra is pressed up against your side very tightly.
Just not even paying attention. I'm just petting Umbra.
Mm-hmm.
Mare, I have a question for you.
Yes.
These 7 whispered questions, Ishmael and I know what they do, but do we know what they are? The 7 questions, no?
Mm-mm. No.
Okay. Roshni just kind of thinks about this for a second, and while the conversation is happening, that's what they've been kind of mulling over. And they just kind of say out loud, maybe not even meaning to, but just sort of a thought that they had that they just say out loud is, I wonder what it is that these questions ask that Kieran is so keen on keeping to themselves. After all, the 7 whispered questions. And now they are, like, paying attention and, like, looking at you, Ishmael, in particular. The 7 whispered questions are only dangerous if you don't answer them sincerely. What could Kieran want to hide that badly? That they would be willing to do unimaginable, unspeakable things to keep that information private.
Protect someone who needs to be protected.
Do you need protecting, Ishmael?
It's a sad, weakest laugh comes out of Ishmael. And mind you, while this is all happening, he's trying to come out of the corset because he's struggling.
The fucking battle corset. I love it.
Can I help
Yeah.
Ishmael
Oh,
get out of
do you need
the
a
corset
hand?
as necessary?
Yeah, I would also be giving a.
Yeah.
Yes.
He gives like such a weak smile and weak laugh.
Miss Deed,
Uh,
as the two of them help you out of your corset, Miss Deed kind of floats over to your easel, Eleanor, and kind of perches on the top of the canvas.
I'll nod at Miss Deed.
Thanks, Miss
This
Deed.
very big metallic looking octopus with moth wings.
He gives like this weakest laugh and goes, "No, I don't think that's the case.
No, Ishmael here knows how to shoot.
I don't necessarily mean that. I don't think I am one that people are trying to use over their head."
Then Roshni's eyes turn to Lillian.
That was exactly what I was thinking as well.
I mean, they only lashed out at me when I shot first. I don't.
No, I mean your parents. There's a key question that I've had at the beginning of all of this when I found Kiran's journal. And it is, if they made a plan to escape to Shadow with your family, when they were with me, they never seemed frazzled, and you were here without your family. So if Kiran wasn't, I mean, I don't know. They kept enough things hidden from me, but the Kiran I know would not rest easy unless they knew that their friends were safe. We cannot
Man.
discount the possibility. Sorry.
Yep, go ahead, Lillian.
The location that Ilsford told me of my parents' place, is that
Grabbing my map,
Any-
sorry.
where near where we just thought of going? South far away?
Let me look at my map. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Because this
It's
is the one
okay.
thing I forgot to do.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's a fabric map of Saturn.
It's so pretty.
It is. So, okay, hold on. So we've got, you're all over here. South is down this way. I'm going to say that the ruined expanses that that Ilford told you is in, it's between these 4 districts. So kind of like smack dab in the middle of these 4 districts. So if someone wants to quickly write these down, in the middle of Zardim, Brick House, the Palindrome, and River. It's in the middle of those 4 districts. So it's like southeast of Fartown and the Hollows.
Can I quickly confirm that was Zardem, Brickhouse, Rive River, and the Palindrome?
River.
River.
Yeah.
So that would
is
not.
it Rive River? I've always called it River.
I think it is.
I thought there were 2
know,
R's. It's Rive River.
Oh, I liked River.
I'm fine with changing it to River. It's my invisible son.
It is.
Our world. We have River.
It's gonna be River. It's River.
I'll guess I'll cut it out again, okay? There's so many scribbles, just like Ishmael's confession. It's great, it's fine.
That would not be in the direction that we were just suggested go.
It's the start of it.
Okay.
It's not outside the city.
Okay.
It's not the most southern part of the city, but it is south.
It's like on the way.
It's on the way, yeah.
Okay. Then back in care. If we do start heading south, the location Ilford said is that direction. We could stop on the way. It might give us some information.
The ruined expanses.
It'll certainly help narrow down what we are working with. I mean, knowing where your parents are will help us, I guess, understand how equipped this King 9 is to execute his plan. And that will determine time, how much time we have.
It also was told that it didn't look touched, so it could also be a place, if we want to start heading south, that we could maybe hide or stay while we search.
It's still in the ruined expanses, which are very dangerous. So just giving that broad thing.
Let us go when we are prepared.
Hideout and safe in the ruined expanses are not any words that I would have thought I'd hear together.
It's somewhere that
But I
they
have
felt
enough
safe
faith.
enough.
It was before that it was ruined, Lillian.
Oh yeah.
I have enough faith in myself to be able to guard the door.
Should you guard the door, though, Alecto?
Why? Are you afraid I'll let a boogeyman in?
No. And I think for the first time, perhaps ever, honestly, you see Roshni's face is like devoid of any sort of like banter or joke. Like they look very sincere in this moment, which is weird. They don't do this. This is very strange. And they look at you, Alecto, and they say, no, because it doesn't seem that you particularly enjoy all of this bloodshed. You might be good at it, but should you be the one to guard the door?
And I think Alecto just kind of looks down. And I think they had kind of started playing with the dagger again, just like turning it over in their hands.
Is there anything else we've learned from our encounter? Because if there's any thinking I'd like to do, it'd be preferably after, and that's when the corset comes out. Where I can sit down. Thank you, my darlings. Thank you very much.
Now then place the corset on like a something like a table or a rack or something, right?
Yeah, he'll help take it there, yeah.
I think at the mention of any other information we learned, Roshni like casts a very quick and pointed look at Eleanor, shakes their head very quickly, and then like looks back. Hopefully nobody else will see this. That's sort of the idea, is that...
Do you want to pull a card to see if anyone notices?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fun. Do it. Do it.
Yes.
I have pulled the driver. Value of 7 mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. Impetuous travel, forward motion, and speed.
Sounds promising.
I
It
was
was
gonna
too fast.
Yeah,
to
I was gonna
detect.
say it's probably super quick. That Alecto was looking down. Ishmael is like, thank God I'm out of this fucking corset, and Lillian was like helping.
Lillian's never paying attention.
Okay, that's fair. Is there anything else we'd like to talk about before we go to break?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. In that case, everybody, we'll be back in like 5 to 10 minutes. Please stand up, stretch, hydrate, pet your pets, and we will be back soon. Bye. Hello, we are back from break, everybody. I hope you all had a lovely, just stand up, stretch, walk around. We have one more scene that I believe Eleanor and Roshni wanted to have.
Yup.
The rest, the house without a key has plenty of rooms for the rest of the three of you, and a couple bathrooms that you can freshen up in.
Yeah, at some point inconspicuously, I'm going to try and get Roshni's attention and then be like, oh, hey, I have something in my workshop that I might need your help on. Can you follow me for a second?
Yeah, of course. And Roshni will follow. And as soon as they are inside and the door is closed, Roshni is just gonna look at Eleanor and just go, you couldn't have made that any more obvious, Eleanor.
Well, for what it's worth, I actually do have something I would like to ask you, but I suppose we can talk about that another time. In any case, why'd you shake your head at me?
It's a secret.
Okay, why does it have to be?
I figured that there's... If it's a secret, it's a secret for a reason, Eleanor. And darling, I figure that there's more information in there than we know right now. Don't you think it would be better for us to figure out what exactly those things mean before we go telling everybody? We've got 2 weeks' time, after all.
I know exactly what all of that meant.
And what exactly is that?
The Inkblot is a gallery in the Marquis Quarter. It's one of its curators is... That's not important. A Crimson Dot item is an item that is marked by the Kalmara Sodality for refinement or purification. It's not for the improvement of the piece itself. It is for the destruction, theft, or removal of a piece from the public eye. the sodality itself views itself as the caretakers and the sole authority on art in Saturnine. They enforce their opinion of what should or should not be for public consumption. Violently, at times.
You seem
So-
to know a lot about this sodality, Eleanor.
That's not important. But what you know now is that I suppose we have reason to believe that Kieran might show up at the ink blot in 2 weeks' time to steal something.
You're starting to sound like me, darling. Okay, so Kieran shows up at the ink blot to steal a piece of art. So what? Why would Ophelia's father want this art piece? Have you heard anything about this showing at the ink blot in 2 weeks?
Nothing that comes to mind. But as far as why King 9 might want an art piece, I mean, take a look at what Alecto's been carrying. Is that not art?
It is, and that's what concerns me.
Exactly. I don't know what's going to be showed. For all we know, it'll be dangerous. For all we know, it will be benign.
Something tells me that anything King 9 is involved with is not benign.
I agree.
It seems that he has a particular interest in souls. And I wonder if this art piece does what? Well, with the questions that Ophelia is holding over Kieran's head, wonder if it does the same thing or something similar.
I don't know. Give me a few days. I'll be able to find out a decent amount of information about what will be shown.
Can you at least promise me that you will keep it between us until we decide that something needs to be done about it, and then we can tell everyone else?
What could we possibly learn that will make us decide to ignore it?
What the art piece does, if anything at all. If it's just a regular piece of art, Eleanor, then what does it
You
matter?
yourself
if
said it's unlikely that King 9 is interested in
unlikely
King 9.
does not mean impossible. Darling, I'm only asking for a few days.
I'll give you a few days.
Okay.
But whatever I learn about this showing would have to be something that, quite frankly, now I can't even imagine. For me to keep this just between us.
That's okay, Eleanor. And you mentioned something else that you wanted to ask me.
I did. Yes, give me 1 second. And I'm going to go walk over to my desk and grab a small little notebook. And fuck, I think I lost that. Oh well. So yeah, I'm gonna grab that notebook, like flip through something, and then like look frustrated because I can't find it, and put my notebook down. I can't find the details of it right now specifically, but I'm working on something right now that might need a unique fire source. I was wondering if you could help me provide that.
Fire? Yes, of course. That's extremely easy. May I ask what this fire source is? I mean, Eleanor, you and I both know fire's not difficult to procure.
Yes, that is true. God damn it. So out of character, there is an ingredient. I forgot what it was. I think it is fire from like a silent flame or something like that, but like don't quote me on that. But yeah, so there's an ingredient that some special magical fire that I'll just Eleanor will mention because she knows this better than I do. But yeah,
Fair.
can't believe I lost that shit.
Interesting.
Heat from a silent fire power source.
Yes, heat from a silent fire. Thank
Yep.
you.
Literally has so
Interesting.
many books open.
Eleanor. That. Well, I could certainly procure it for you. It would just take a conversation with my lover to procure. I could easily conjure that, but that's not an ordinary flame, and for an extraordinary item, I would require something in return.
What would that be?
I operate in secrets. You have something that you're willing to share with me.
Not now, but I'll get back to you.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready to pay, and I will come with what you want.
Okay.
And at that, Roshni will exit the room and find... I assume they just kind of have a room that they prefer to go to whenever they're in Eleanor's
Yeah.
house. So they're just going to go to that one.
Okay. The five of you relax over the course of the evening. The house almost seems to gently rock you to sleep, swaying with gentle creaks and groans. Yes.
I have a question,
Yes.
actually.
Yeah.
Does the house have a sound that is odd to Alecto specifically?
Not specifically to Alecto, no. You just heard something fun because backstory. And you can speak to objects. It's flavor backstory. And you thought you were going to say something else? No? Okay. So the five of you go to sleep and hopefully go to sleep. I will not speak for you, but the night passes. And in the morning, the five of you are woken up to multiple things. First of all, the smell of cooking food. The second is a loud music being played from the kitchen. And a little bit of burned food. This is familiar to at least two of you.
So especially on smelling the burn food, I just sort of like roll over my bed. Not again.
On the other hand, Roshni has woken up quite excited. And they are getting ready as fast as they can and like making a beeline for the kitchen.
How fast do the rest of you get there? Or try to get up? Because this is actually kind of fairly loud music. They're blasting it.
Lillian would probably be up fairly early.
I think Alecto would have woken up when the music started, just because of their sound, like the sound, you know? So I don't know if they would have rushed down to see what was going on until they heard like everyone else getting up, so they might be one of the last in.
Ishmael?
Ishmael is groggy as all hell because this isn't usually where he sleeps. But gets up, kind of like does a quick braid of his hair so that it stays out of his face, and just walks out with pair of pants and a mostly buttoned shirt as he's walking down, just kind of like, is the house without the key always this lively? I think if Alecto would like perhaps run into Alecto being awake, and then just kind of like pushes his hair back and goes, I'm becoming way too comfortable around you. I feel like I appear before you with less and less clothes on, and keeps walking forward.
I think that's really funny because Alecto had like opened their door and they did not have a shirt on, like at all. I think like it was just like there was one like in their hand, right? But they're kind of like they had like their toothbrush like hanging out of their mouth and like the mask pushed up. They just kind of like bump their head as Ishmael goes down.
I love this like bro relationship the two of you, the two of you have. Regardless how long it takes you to get into the kitchen, you are met with the sight of a fairly tall young man with white hair, a little longer than the last time the two of you saw him. He has bright blue eyes, fair skin, with his button-up shirt like above the elbow, and he's also wearing like a yellow and pink apron, bumping around to some kind of new age jazz hip hop thing from a radio that's kind of like hanging in the air near him. And he's just dancing around, and you also smell the stank of cigarettes as well as a rune tattoo that goes up his neck into his chest. And it's kind of gotten bigger since Roshni and Eleanor, you've seen him last. It's also gone down to his wrist on his right arm. You would both know this person to be Eleanor's brother, Emery. And there is a spread of scrambled eggs, crepes. There is one dish with scrambled eggs and 2 very burnt pieces of toast on it, set at the table, and a fresh pot of coffee brewing. Who arrives first?
Roshni probably beats me there.
Yeah, probably. I think like Eleanor's like walking down the stairs and Roshni just like whizzes past her like as she's going. And when Roshni arrives in the kitchen, I like to imagine that Emery's like got his back turned and is like cooking something on the stove at this point. And Roshni just comes up and just like runs over and like gives him just this big hug, like hanging off of his neck, and is just like, Ash, it's so nice to see you.
Hey, Spitfire. Hey, okay, you're gonna choke me, and I need to not burn everyone else's food.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't make a difference either way. You're gonna burn it regardless.
Excuse you, I know how to cook. I just burn your food because that's what your palate likes.
Yeah, but I just think everyone else could serve to eat a little bit more.
Yeah, well, Elle will kill me.
Yeah,
Elle...
that's fun. I like to see that.
No, okay. And he kind of like gets your arms off from around his neck and kind of like pulls you into a side hug while flipping a crepe.
Roshni's gonna take a seat like up on the kitchen counter, and I imagine, I don't know, there's probably like plates of food next to him.
He's cooking
on the
for an
counter as
army.
well. And they're just gonna start like picking at it and just like eating whatever it is.
Hell yeah. Eleanor?
Yeah, I'm down probably like a bit after that. I probably hear that entire interaction. And I'll scoot in beside him as much as I can without getting in his way. Morning.
He actually hands you the spatula, Roshni, and turns to you, Eleanor, and picks you up in a big ol' hug. Elle,
Hey.
I missed you. How is
I
my
missed you
favorite little
too.
sister?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good.
It's been a while.
You look tired. Are you getting sleep? Do I need
As
to
much as
beat
I can.
anyone up that's keeping you up? Do I need to beat up the house?
No.
Beat up the
Don't need to
house.
do that.
Do it,
Do
Ash.
not do that.
You know, the house was actually mad at me. Like,
Well, whatever
a few
you
days
did, you
ago.
probably deserved it.
Yeah, Roshni, why don't you tell him what you did?
I have never done
did
anything
you do?
wrong a day in my life.
I've never seen the house mad at anyone before. You must have really fucked up.
I paid Eleanor double. Okay, look, it wasn't theft. The house is overreacting.
He kind of gives you a look, Eleanor.
I just shrug.
All right, well, just don't get the house mad. Really mad. But yeah, pick up.
It
I got your
stole my
favorites.
shoes.
Well, that sounds like a you problem. Anyway, eat up. I'm cooking for literally everyone in this house right now because, yes, I gotta. But yeah, the three of you also come into Emery, Alabaster Avon, Eleanor's brother.
I will also nudge Emery one more time. And this, I hope I do this like as Ishmael walks in. Oh, by the way, I have a message for you from Yasser.
Okay. What does he gotta say this time?
He says that when you're arguing, he would appreciate more evidence and less cigarette smoke.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Also, since I
told him
got
as much.
Also, since I got you, I left a package from Alana on the counter, and he points to the other side. She said she has more pigments for you to play with.
Oh, great, thank you.
As Ishmael kind of enters, the first thing he notes is the smell of brewing coffee, because that's his favorite thing. And he goes, "Oh, it's that heavenly coffee I smell." And then hears Yasser's name, and then you see immediately, almost cartoonishly, a frown appear upon his face. Oh God, what does a man have to do to not have to hear that cursed name upon his ears?
You gotta erase him from existence. You gotta erase him from his existence, hot stuff.
I imagine you could settle for, maybe moving away and not being his neighbor.
But I like my house.
Then maybe convince him to move.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I imagine it'd be easier than erasing him from existence.
It depends what you
I
can
don't know,
find.
Eleanor. Have you tried?
No.
Yeah, actually, I think it's a lot easier than you'd think. And Alecto has still not put on a shirt. Actually, it's like still slung over their shoulder. They still have their toothbrush in their mouth. Their like mask is mostly down, but they have the toothbrush sticking out, and they're walking they're walking through the kitchen to the bathroom, like on the other that I imagine the other side of the kitchen, and they just go through.
Do I know if Lillian and/or Alecto have met Emery before?
I don't think so. I think we've
Okay,
only
then.
established that Roshni and Eleanor know Emery.
Mhm. Then in that case, I will make introductions. Lillian, Alecto, Ishmael. This is my brother, Emery. Emery, this is Lillian, Alecto, Ishmael.
Hey. And he kind of like gives a salute with the spatula, gives you a wink, Ishmael, before going back to the stove. Help yourselves. There's plenty to go around.
Lillian probably walked into this like right as you were introducing, and had been taking pictures around the house,
Oh.
and probably when walked in like da
You're easily
took
spooked.
a picture. So I have a picture of the scene of the group.
I'm not that scary, am I?
I was just taken aback. There was somebody new.
We gotta get you some round to some places, girl. Get you more experience. Meet new people, new experiences and folks.
I think Ishmael kind of like settles up to the side that has the kettle that's brewing the coffee, and looks at all the foods like, a charmer and a cook. Is there no end to your talent?
Oh, I've got plenty of talents.
He kind of smiles and will pour himself a cup of coffee, and I think folks would, if they are paying attention, would figure out that Ishmael is very comfortable with this sort of interaction.
It happens all the time.
Just hasn't come up yet.
I think Alecto eventually comes back from the bathroom. They are clothed this time. I know, shame. And they like settle into a chair. Their mask pulled down all the way, and they kind of like look at Ishmael for a moment and then turn to Emery. Careful, Emery, was it? Ishmael here could charm the scales off a snake.
Oh, I love to see that. You can charm my scales any day.
Alecto's wingman is working, by the way.
Sorry, that's Val reacting. You see, Ishmael kind of look at Alecto and just goes like, "But I love snakes. I've got them all around me." And you see Vasuki kind of and Sheisha just like snaking up his neck and then hanging around his neck.
See what I said? See what I said? Prizes of former victims hung all over their body. Be careful.
Oh, I could say some things about that, but my sister's in the room, so...
Say it anyway, Ash.
Oh, sorry. If I'm going to say anything, it's going to be for Ishmael's ears only.
Lillian is red, just like drinking her coffee in a chair like, oh my.
And after like another couple minutes of this back and forth, and he's also been smoking a cigarette this entire time, and like there's like an ashtray at the open window, and he's just continuously like going out there, like making sure the entire kitchen isn't completely stank up. But he does eventually put a couple more like big platters of food like on the table, and eventually you're not the only ones here. There are a couple other people in the house that have heard interactions as well as smelled the food and the obnoxiously loud music. And they're kind of filtering in and out. Some staying at the table. So what have you been up to, you two? 5? I don't know. friends of friends or friends of mine. And he also has his own plate now.
Mm.
Have I missed anything interesting in my absence? That
Alex
silence
freeze.
says
I'm not
yes.
sure how to answer that.
That
No.
silence is a yes.
Do you remember Blue?
Oh, yes. When are we going to go back to punch their face in?
I may have already gone back. Not
You
to
went
punch
without
their
me?
face in. I was forced to. It was a lot. Yeah, so we went back there.
Speaking of, what did you do to get yourself banned?
Oh, do you want to explain, Spitfire?
No, you can take that one.
Well, this is a story for another day, but, destruction of public property was one of many things that happened.
We were
You are
drunk.
ridiculous.
Oh, we
I
were
was
very
angry.
drunk.
And okay, to be fair, it was Emery's fault. He said that it would be a good way to get back at Terran if we destroyed their place of work, and it sounded like a good idea at the
Listen,
time.
my friend Tirida was also at fault, okay?
Yeah.
Tirida enables.
Terran wasn't there though, so it was kind of all for nothing.
Yeah.
The three of you are ridiculous.
Yeah. Did you expect anything different?
Oh, I wish I did.
I mean, you clearly saw they like fixed it in no time. I don't know why I was banned.
Whatever. They're gonna have to try real hard to keep me out though next time I'm there. It's fine. As if magic to change your face doesn't exist. Come on.
So it seems that you are one that cannot be contained then, Emery.
Oh, understatement.
Good to know. Good to get to know you very quickly, just in the presence of our darling Roshni here. But yes, we did visit Terran. That was awkward for everybody involved. If I
Yeah.
knew the
Fuck them.
history, if I knew the history was that,
Explosive.
I was going to say awkward.
They can be both.
Mhm. I just felt like I was third wheeling the entire time, darling. To be completely honest, I felt I was invited to a party that I wasn't well dressed for.
Excuse you, that is not. No. Ishmael, darling, I think you may have misread the situation just a little bit.
Just a little.
Looks at Alecto and Lillian and Eleanor.
You've
Alecto
never been
shrugs.
underdressed.
Oh, damn it. I was
What-
going to say that.
What did you
It's
say?
good.
I missed it. What did you say, Lillian?
You've never been underdressed for a situation.
Very well dressed. Very handsome.
Well, if I've caught your eye, then I've definitely done my job. Then
If you'd like to take a little further, you know where to find me. You can leave a message with Eleanor.
if I should ever find myself in that space, I shall.
Just don't keep me waiting too long.
Gonna be waiting a long time. I'm sorry.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that, and it's
Whoops.
fine.
I've never. I don't flirt like this in real life, y'all.
So, yeah, thought I'd just come say. He's shoveling food into his mouth. Yeah, thought I'd come say hi. It's been a while, at least a couple months.
Yeah, what have you been working on?
Oh, you know, work,
Yeah,
accounting.
accounting.
I cannot imagine you at a desk job.
Yeah, desk job, sure.
Mm-hmm. Ishmael's just so
All right,
intrigued.
what is
by
accounting? What's accounting? It's not accounting. What is accounting?
Oh, you know, I'm crunching numbers for some friends.
Oh, no. I mean, Alecto's just trying to suss it out. Like, they havenent said much.
Oh, okay, this was internal C talking. Oh yeah, you don't even have to roll. He's obviously being very obnoxious with the answer.
Mm-hmm. And what is your? I saw you speaking about Yasser, and it seems that you and I share a similar feeling about the man.
Yeah. He's fun to tease.
Oh,
Very fun to
you've
tease.
you've experienced with him then.
Yeah. I am also a Vance. We are currently in an academic debate. And you said you live near him? The snake,
Right
I'm
next
assuming.
door. Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming you saw my little gift that I left for him yesterday morning.
Oh, was that you?
Yes. Did you see his reaction? I didn't stick around because he would have killed me.
I did. I, in fact, waited to see his reaction.
Yeah, for the rest of you, I left some lovely screaming orchids in front of his door as a token of my appreciation. He is beautiful. He should get flowers sometimes.
Especially ones that scream.
Yeah.
How early was it?
It was pretty early. What time did you leave, Ishmael?
It was just a few moments before I came to see you, Eleanor.
Oh, that's too early. That's too early.
He deserved it.
Oh, come on. Let him have a little fun, Eleanor. It's not like he sent the flowers to you.
That's true. That's a good point.
But yeah, I figured.
And,
I figured while I was picking up the flowers, Alana asked me to pick up send you the pigments. So, killing two
Thank
birds
you.
with one stone.
Wait, you got screaming orchids from Alana. Did she know that you were sending them to someone's doorstep?
She's too polite to ask.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Either way, it made my morning.
And there's worse things than screaming orchids in her shop. So
That's true.
don't get me started on the face flowers.
I won't.
Yeah, but I hope you all enjoy breakfast. I don't know how long I'm sticking around, but if y'all need me, I'll try and stop by more often.
Before you leave, would you like Eleanor, would you like a picture together?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
And I take a very nice picture of them together.
Aww.
They do like a nice one, and then he does the brother thing where he does an obnoxious one.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll leave a copy with Eleanor for you.
You are a dear. Thank you.
I would like to ask a question about that. What does Lillian see through the camera lens when she takes the picture?
Oh, Emery's is a wispy white fog.
But I only saw that when I developed the pictures.
No, it's both.
Oh shit! I need to ask. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I have
it's
so many
both.
more questions for later.
It's both.
Okay, so it's white.
Wispy foggy. Kind of like smoke.
Cool.
Before Emery leaves, I will sort of like nudge him. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Anything for you.
Then I'll bring him back into my workshop for a second.
You seem stressed and it's like something is on your mind. You got the
Yeah.
little lines on your forehead.
Yeah. Oh, I wish it wasn't that easy to read. Anyway,
You got to do a little better, dear.
I do.
Also, I've known you for literally your whole life, so
That's also true.
shoot. And he like grabs your chair and like
Mhm.
sits in it backwards.
Do you have
What-
any friends in the?
What?
Do you have any friends in the Paris hut?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Why?
I think something might be happening at the ink blot in 2 weeks.
Kay's place?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea about anything else? Like, sources? Like, I can tell them and they can do something, but, like, just hearsay, naysay, random piece of information from my crusty ass might not go too far.
Remember how I told you about something got stolen from the fridge?
Yeah.
It's the sister of the person who stole the piece from Anya.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any... most I can do is tell them. And they can take a look. But it's more so
all we can
magical
ask.
emergencies. They're not detectives.
I know, but I just thought that maybe if you were there, I'm not asking them to follow up, but they might be able to. I don't know. I don't know if they could stop anything, but
Let me think. Them. I think, you know, how important is this?
I don't know yet.
Ballpark, 0 to 10.
Between 4 and 7.
Okay, so what I'll do is I will ask Michael, who I know does art stuff, and I'll ask him on a date to the ink blot.
All right. Not the route I thought you were going to go, but I suppose that works.
I can mention it. And then, besides, he's cute anyway. We've hooked up before, so it's fine.
Yeah. You could do worse.
I could.
You have done worse.
I have done a lot worse. You are right. Michael, at least, is responsible.
I mean, he's not an asshole.
Yeah, but the assholes are fun.
I know. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate it.
He'll stand up, give you a hug, an obnoxious kiss on the head, ruffles your hair massively.
As you do.
Yes, as you do with younger children and with siblings. Okay. I'm gonna go say goodbye to your lovely friends.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Ishmael. And then I will try and be back soon.
All right. I look forward to it.
Gives you another one-armed hug, walking back to the kitchen. I must go. It was lovely seeing all your lovely, handsome faces. But my handsome face has work to do.
Oh, what a shame. But it was lovely meeting you.
Send me a message. And he kind of crooks a finger at the radio that's been like floating and blaring the entire time. And you all would like recognize this as an obvious shadow item. And he picks it up, turns it off. Spitfire L, friends, adieu.
Come back soon.
I'll try. If you need me, you know, just try and send me a message. It's fine. It's really hard to send him a message. And he leaves.
You know, if you really need him, you should just light something on fire. He'll come running.
That's actually how we met.
That sounds about right.
Both seem very close. Very good friends.
Yeah, Ash and I go way back. He's my best friend.
That's very lovely.
He's a really good guy, honestly, if you get to know him. And Ishmael, I know things are complicated, but if you don't actually plan on calling or talking to him, maybe let him know that.
You know he won't care either way, Roshni.
He like
that doesn't matter. This is Roshni's friend.
He cocks an eye at Roshni. First of all, confused at why Roshni is suggesting any of this because.
Bless.
Roshni doesn't know anything. Don't ask.
No one knows about the game. We don't know. He does not know who knows. He doesn't know who knows. So he's just like, well, I will, if that is something that you believe is particularly sensitive to him. I thought that was just merely light-hearted banter. But if you feel so strongly, then I shall.
He won't care, but I don't like to see him get let on, that's all.
So if Ishmael replays the entire scenario in his head to wonder if he's ever at any point led Emery on, and I think just comes to his own conclusion in his own head.
He is.
That's not wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was ambiguous because it really was not ambiguous.
No, it's me reading
in
it.
the smallest amount. It was.
Y'all need to understand this. This is not usually a kind of headspace I occupy as a normal human being.
But for everyone in chat, I was just saying, yeah, Emery's down to fuck. In chat. It's true.
Ishmael nods, continues drinking the coffee. He's like, that's a lovely brew.
Alecto hasn't actually eaten anything yet if there have been other people coming in and out of the kitchen, and will only take their mask off to eat once they're sure that nobody else is coming in.
Yeah, it's kind of random every once in a while. There does come a point where it is like slower. and eventually stops.
Well, we have targets on our backs. We have clues leading us further and further out of Saturnine. Do we want to wait and be sitting ducks, or do we want to go?
When you put it like that, we probably have to go then, don't we?
I don't particularly like the idea of sitting around waiting for somebody to come and attack us, so...
Neither do I. So shall we head towards where Lillian, this place that you believe your parents are?
Where
Or
they had
straight.
some research.
Or
Well,
are
we
just
have
gonna head down straight.
for research options. We could stop by my aunt's house and try to access the books that she could not, and then head straight to the lab.
That might be prudent, perhaps. Is that all right with all of you?
It sounds like a plan to me.
Might be better than going in without any foresight as to what might await us further south. Because let's face it, we're going to the lion's den.
I've met my fair share of lions, Ishmael. Just stand
I've-
back a little.
I shall promptly hide behind your reliable shoulders.
So what's this? Is this a today thing? What's the game plan?
Yeah.
I see
Day.
no reason to wait.
So
Right.
it sounds like Aunt Solara's house, and then potentially going out and preparing to go out to the ruined expanses.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We won't be able to do the ruined expanses today. That'll be like
Mhm.
a big session thing because
Mhm.
ruined
Yeah.
expanses are dangerous. But we can definitely do Aunt Solara's house. Is there anything y'all would like to do or talk about before you head over to Quiet Lake?
If it's on the way, Alecto might want to peek into their shop because they haven't been there in a day. Or like just go in the front for like a hot minute to like make sure everything's just to make sure nothing has been broken into a third time actually.
A third
Third
time.
time, just to talk to Rafi in the front shop.
Yeah, sure. The distances and things are weird. We could say it's on the way to the arch. As the five of you get ready to go and leave the house without a key with its rhythmic twisting and groaning, there is a figure sleeping on the couch with very heavy dark circles on his eyes. Oliver Burns is sleeping on the couch of the house without a key in the living room. He looks exhausted. He's conked out.
I cannot believe you have done this to me.
What? He's having trouble with a noisy neighbor. Your place is open. Alecto and Eleanor, you recognize him.
I choose not to and walk out the door.
Alecto kind of like pauses for a moment, like puzzled that this random man continues to like be in their worldview. They like look at him sleeping there. They like,
Kinda
consider
yawns.
like shaking him awake, and then they kind of like just tip their head. And whoever's like like maybe Lillian is passing at that moment, and they turn to Lillian and they go, "What do you think it is about coincidences, Lillian?"
They usually aren't.
And Alecto looks back at Oliver Burns, and then walks out the door.
Seeing that look is when Alecto walks away. I just photo.
his aura is a weak, sad blue. I just do this to torture Alex. And yes, you can head towards the Rafi's shop, Rafi's Odds and Oaths. It is fairly close by, and it is a little early to be open, and it's not really open for the public, but also you kind of live in his shop, so it's not closed to you. Is everyone else going with Alecto into their shop, into Rafi's?
Oh, wait, outside.
Alecto says that they'll just be a minute.
I'll wait outside.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, Alecto, the shop easily opens for you, and Rafi is a tireless stripes with basically just the stripes, teeth, eyes, claws of a tiger. He's a little scruffy looking, but he's luxuriously laying on his long counter, the tail flicking back and forth.
Sorry I haven't been in, Rafi. Just coming up to check on things.
Hi, Alecto.
And Alecto looks toward the back of the shop where the wardrobe is still, I assume, pulled apart. From the,
yeah.
like... Yeah,
It's got
Alecto
one of
hasn't
the
had much
doors-
time to fix it.
One of the doors has, like, at least some wood propped up against it. Looks like Rafi procured, maybe not a door, but definitely some planks to help. It's alright.
I'll be a little busy, but I'll try to get to Lost and Found and bring something back for that.
It's not a rush. Keeping the store closed for now.
For now. If anyone comes around asking, and if Pax comes through again, will you let me know? I have
Anything you want me to say to her? I haven't seen her.
I know. Tell her that she's late. And tell her that I'm looking for something specific. A vitiferous curse.
Okay.
Wait, what was it called? The one that Lillian cast?
Egoist's Dream.
Egoist's Dream, specifically.
Sure. That sounds like that's a pretty common curse, so hopefully she'll find one.
It's not about the curse itself, it's about whoever's wielding it. But
Ah.
just tell me if you see Pax.
Anyone I need to beat up for beating up our door?
Well, if any demons come by, you can give them a thank you with your claws.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry.
And Kieran, remember?
So you've mentioned them a couple times.
Yeah. Just let me know if you find anything.
Did you show a picture of Kieran to Rafi? Okay. Yeah, I will keep an eye out, but they haven't shown up.
Woman with a long braid, too.
Okay. I'll keep my eyes and nose sharp.
Thanks, Rafi.
Take
And
care of
Alecto will
yourself.
just kind of like peek back into their shop, just to make sure that everything's fine, and then they'll come back out.
Yeah, everything is fine in your shop. Alecto reemerges.
My shop, despite the broken door, remains untouched. For now.
Good to know.
To Solara's then.
The trip to Solara's. Also, just for reference, everybody, for your benets and pools and stuff, since we are doing the next day, you would use whatever rests that you did not use to refresh your pools and to recover injuries. So whatever you didn't use them to refresh as much as you can, and then going from there.
And how many rests do we get?
2 action, an hour, and a 10-hour? It's long. I don't remember.
Two 1 action rests, one 10-minute rest, one hour.
Oh,
rest.
1 hour rest. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll use those as is, and then the next day you'll refresh all your rests back to unused. And you begin to head to Solaris, which involves going through the gate of Fartown into the hollows, which, as you pass some roads, still look kind of wrecked, actually. And taking the rail to Quiet Lake. Since, did you give a ring or anything to Aunt Solara this time around, is my question. Lillian.
There would does the house without a key have a phone or a way to?
Eleanor, would you think the house without a key has a phone?
That's a great question. I don't think so. Like, realistically, I just don't think so.
Okay.
Then I probably wouldn't, because we probably didn't go anywhere with one.
Yeah.
But I do know where the spare key is.
Yes, but you gotta get to her island, unfortunately. So you take the rail to Quiet Lake, and there is a little wooden shack labeled Abbot's Boats, where you can rent boats to get to islands. There
Alecto can paddle.
Abbott is a short, black-haired, tan-skinned young man. And as he sees you approach, he's like, "Howdy. Y'all looking for some boats to get out to the Quiet Lake?"
Yes, please.
Let me see. Do you want a skiff that's powered, or do you want a rowboat, a barge?
How much for a powered?
A powered rowboat or a skiff?
One large enough to hold 5 people.
Yeah, I think you can get away with a large rowboat. Powered rowboat will be 25 crystal.
And Alecto kind of leans in to Lillian and goes, "I count as 2 people. Just in terms of..."
Well, it's by day, not by people, so you're in luck.
That's not a problem, and Lillian will go to pay.
Yeah, it'll be 25 crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can just take that one right there, and here's a little, here's the controller, and he slides you a small stone. Just kind of like put it in place and just kind of wheel yourself where you want to go. It needs to be back by sunset, please.
Okay, not a problem.
Safe travels.
Thank you. Lillian's gonna look at this and look at Eleanor and be like, "Would you be better at this?"
I could try. It's an object, so.
Oh, Alecto then?
Sure, let me.
I hand you the object.
Alecto kind of turns it over in their hand. And then they kind of like furrow their brow. I only sort of remember what your aunt's house looks like. But they put it in the boat and they do their best.
Lily will navigate for you.
I'm not gonna make you roll for this unless
You turn. Other left.
You're just going in a circle?
You said right, Lillian.
My right, not yours. Why are you facing the wrong way?
That's because the stone says I should face this way.
Yeah, you need to go that way over there. Says the stone.
It keeps telling me the wrong thing. Siri, please stop it.
How'd you know my name?
Could just tell. I just knew it somehow.
The Three Stooges shenanigans continues for a little bit before you do make it back to Solara's house, where you need to tie off the rowboat and get her spare key that is around the back.
Lillian will go get the key. She knows exactly where it is. This isn't the first time.
Yeah, Umbra's right beside you the entire time. Also, before I forget, again, I'm not doing a good job tonight.
No.
We're going to pull the next card. which is on the Blue Sun. Incriminating skull. Value 5, secrets, ravens, books, and flame. Meanings disaster, discovery, evidence, connections, friends, and family. Gold magic is enhanced, silver is hindered.
Can you
That's
repull?
the card for right now, I guess.
It is a great card. I love this card. It's Ishmael's favorite card.
Oh no.
It's the card that follows me around. I don't think I get a choice of whether or not it's my favorite.
The deck knows.
The deck just points
What
at
have
me
you
and goes-
done?
The deck
What do
just
you-
looks at me and goes, "You now." Right now. Shall let's go.
But yes, Umbra's at your side the entire time, kind of like actually kind of like ahead of you, leading the way to where the spare key is. She keeps it under like the 5th stone in the back garden, and it's just like it's convoluted where she keeps it, but also she lives in a nice neighborhood. Very nice.
Fifth
neighborhood.
stone, backyard, under a ceramic frog to the left of the squirrel.
You need to tell the frog a special phrase, or else it will not move.
It's ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. She's not that creative with passwords. It's that third ribbit, though. Most people only go ribbit, ribbit. It's that third one.
Fair. Yep. And the house is yours to peruse. You would know that if she's not here, the thought forms that she has hired she owns. You don't hire thought forms, you own thought forms. Just tend to do their own thing in the back. And as long as you aren't breaking in, they leave you alone, but also they know you. So, Aunt Solara told you that there is a back room that is essentially your parents' guest bedroom when they stayed the night. And there is a study in that room where she found the books.
That's exactly where I'm going.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything else as Lillian is beginning to lead the way up? This is on the 2nd or 3rd floor, by the way. This is not on the ground floor. Okay. The room that you enter is fairly dusty. There is a large king-size bed with a canopy in beautiful reds and blues. A lot of dark blues. And there's actually 2 dog beds in here as well. There is another side. There's a couple doors which lead off into a back study and a bathroom. The study itself has 2 large desks, and along the back wall, a bookcase.
Do I see any books that are laid out? Did she leave anything laid out for me?
She did not leave anything laid out for you, but she did say that the books that she found that were really weird that she could not get to were in the bottom drawer of your father's desk, which she would have said was the right one against the farthest wall.
I think not even needing to know which one, Lillian would immediately know which desk to walk to. That is her father's.
Uh-huh.
And I will start going through the desk.
You start going through the desk, and what happens is you find a small pile of books. They have dust on them, and as you go down to pick them up, you find yourself with the rest of the group back outside in front of your parents' bedroom. And you don't remember, you get this weirdest sense of deja vu, but you haven't been in the room yet. You all have this sense of deja vu, and yet you haven't even entered their room.
We should go in this is the room. And Lillian will start doing she will do the exact same thing again.
You walk in, you go into the study, you begin looking through the desk, going right through the desk, and as you hit these books, you have this sense of deja vu, and you are in front of the bedroom again, and yet you haven't entered.
Huh.
Wait,
That's
This is unsettling.
Huh.
Have we This is the room that we need to go into.
Wait, Lillian, let me try something. And Roshni is going to cast a spell to move the books that Lillian was trying to like grab, to move those books to where we are outside of this bedroom.
You haven't seen
see
the
if
books
maybe this
yet.
is
You
like-
have no clue what you're talking about. You have no
Oh,
clue.
no?
You haven't seen these books yet. You get this weird sense of deja vu, but you haven't even been here before. What?
So can you
To clarify, it's kind of like a time
at
loop.
what point
Yeah.
does this reset? Like, is it when
Outside
Lillian?
in the hallway before entering the door is when you get the deja vu.
No.
feeling.
Like, at what point of Lillian doing her actions does this reset?
When I pick up the books.
Yeah, when you're going to go for the books. When she goes to go for the books.
So do we not remember her picking up the books at all?
Nope.
Oh,
It's a weird time
okay.
loop. It's out of character. It's like a time loop thing.
Yeah, we get
Okay.
reset at the front door of the room.
I'd like to try something because Alecto knows that some fuckery is happening.
Oh yeah,
and I
there
think
is
they look.
some weird fuckery. It feels weird. Get that weird feeling in the back of your spine that tickles when something
So
visibly bullshit.
this is the room we need to go into.
Hold on. And I think Alecto looks down at their arms, their tattoos, and I think like this feeling, the way I flavored them is that like whenever there's magic acting on them, the tattoos move. So I think there's this like odd way that the tattoos are like blending into each other, like backwards, like the tattoos are in their own odd little time loop that they're doing. And Alecto is just going to. I would like to try. They don't know what they are doing, but they would like to counterspell it.
Oh gosh.
Or at least attempt to counterspell it.
Gosh, this has the weirdest counterspelling wording ever. I do need to read it, sorry, because it doesn't work like D&D counterspell. Weavers, goetics, apostates. Okay, counterspell. As an action, you can cast a counterspell that unravels and dispels one active, ongoing, or magical effect that is level 1 or level 2. It's not.
I also bumped it up to level 3
It's
for me.
not level 3. Yeah.
As I tried to counterspell it, can I tell that there's something happening, but I just can't unravel it?
Yes. It kind of feels like you have it's like a bounce. Like it kind of bounces back at you. But there's magic. There's definitely magic. And I think it becomes apparent very quickly to the rest of you that it's Bisley bullshit.
Sweet darling Miss Deed,
Yes.
what is going on?
I think that there is some magic that is happening. Probably some sense of relating to time.
Mm-hmm. That helps. Do not know if I have anything that could do anything about that, though.
Whatever it is, it might. This deja vu feeling feels very.
I
Itchy.
know. Itchy is a good descriptor for it. See, we are in sync.
Umbra kind of bumps up against you, Lillian.
I look down. Do you know anything about this?
He kind of whines a bit, and he's like, and he nods.
I'm actually going to like kneel down so I'm face to face with Umbra. Can you get the books?
I'm gonna pull a card for this. The card I have pulled is on the Indigo Sun, the Imprisoning Ice, which does not bode well.
It's good prison, right? It's a happy ice prison.
Value 4, notions, cats, clocks, and wind. Entrapment, imprisonment, danger, conflict. The very environment holds you fast when you are trapped in the ice. You cannot move, and the cold threatens your life. You can't persuade the ice or trick it. You can't fight it or best it in a contest. The ice is impersonal, unrelenting, and vastly powerful, even though it's nothing more than frozen water. Unless, of course, it's more than that. Perhaps there is intelligence there. Perhaps it's not just frozen water, but a living spirit of cold, of stillness, of imprisonment. In such a case, the actions of the ice might be entirely personal. You may have brought your terrible fate down upon your own head.
Wow, I think we're worse off now.
The
Umbra
room.
effects just turned into the worst thing ever.
I actually have a question. Is this you said this is the card on the invisible sun?
No, on the indigo sun.
Damn it!
The room is cold. There is, as you have gone, not that you know, you think you, it's weird, there's some frost on the door handle this time around, even though the ice doesn't seem familiar, but standing where you were does.
This is the room that we need to go into, and Lillian will go.
Oh, Lillian.
Lillian will go and try to get the bugs reset.
Is anyone else doing anything this time around as Lillian goes in?
Yes, Roshni's gonna try and figure out the source of this magic. So I want to use illumination and compulsion to force the source of wherever this magical effect is coming from to like reveal itself, essentially.
It was what was it? Illumination and compulsion?
Yes.
Okay, I will say this is a level 5 effect.
Okay, that's fine.
And you need to roll.
Okay.
So roll me 2 dice, please.
I don't suppose I could use a hidden knowledge for this. I don't think I have anything that would be
Yeah, this is
useful.
magic, so you're gonna have to like just do.
Okay.
do the magic part, yeah.
I have a skill in understanding, quantifying, identifying magic outside of codified magic. Is that relevant?
I will give it to you.
Yes! Okay, cool. I get that one. I'm gonna use a sortilege because why not? To get an extra die.
Okay.
So I have 3 dice. I got a 6, a 1, and a 7.
That'll do it. This. Lillian is heading into the room. You can see her on the other side of the room, which you can all see now is this guest bedroom has frost on the walls, is climbing up the rods of the canopy bed, this ice. And as you watch Lillian go in, there is a creature in here. It is a entity of some sort, and as you watch Lillian go in and you're watching her, to your eyes as she goes down to pick up these books, it touches her and you all reset again. But you know,
What does the creature look like?
ice, cold. It is more of a presence than a presence instead of a physical being. It is embedded in these walls, but mostly in the books.
But we kind of have an understanding of the layout of the inside of the room, right? Okay, that I can work with.
But yeah, you're all reset. Roshni, the knowledge stays.
This is the room.
Lillian.
That-
Lillian.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I love you, darling, but you've said that about 10 times now, and let's just... So, inside of that room, I think there's a creature of some kind, made of ice, that's preventing us from being able to interact with the books. When you touch them, Lillian, it touches you, and we end up back here.
Is it possible, since I think technically until sundown tonight, I can still see through Roshni's eyes, Like if Alecto kind of like blips in, can they almost like see the memory of it? Yeah. And as I think like Roshni is explaining this to Lillian, Alecto just kind of like underneath their mask closes their eyes, and I would like to cast Quickening on the books, which is a level 5 spell. And that is, I am going to give the semblance of life, or at least animation,
Do you have
to
to touch
an
it?
inanimate. I don't. It doesn't say that I do.
You do have to go into the room, though.
Okay. I think like Alecto kind of just like steps past for a moment, and or I think even on the desk, actually, the desk itself, and Alecto looks at it and then like beckons with their finger, and the desk, like the legs of it like crack for a moment as like these joints like come into the wood, and it starts walking itself toward Alecto. And Alecto is like leading the entire desk out of the room. You just stay there. Don't move. And Alecto's just trying to bring the entire desk out of the room completely.
You can, and the desk is completely covered in a sheet of ice. By the time it is in, kind of like, it's a big desk, and it has to like maneuver like through the doors, and it kind of pushes like Ishmael and Eleanor out of the way as it comes out into the hallway.
When it comes out, Roshni is going to place a hand on the ice to melt it. And I will spend the sorcery points necessary to do that if you'd like.
You need to roll.
I need to roll to melt the ice? Okay, that's fine. Okay, first of all, how many sorcery am I spending on this?
How much damage would you like to do?
How much is necessary to melt the ice?
How much damage do you want to do?
I hate this. Okay, I'm just gonna be like, we'll spend. I hate this. We'll spend 2. Why not? 2. We'll do 2. I am going to say I have a hidden knowledge. I have a very intimate relationship with fire. I feel like that is useful here in some way. So we're gonna use 1 for that. I have a breaking object skill. Am I breaking the object of the ice?
Just roll me 2d10 and see where we go from here.
Just give it to me, Mare. 8 and 7.
As Roshni places their hands on this desk, there is a screech as ice forms up into a being, staring over all of you.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't think that this was a living ice.
Leave. And only Ishmael and Lillian understand this. But you can all kind of get the general gist of what it's saying. But actual words, it is some kind of summoned entity.
Not without what we came for.
Do you not recognize the air of your masters?
Peers down at you, Lillian. Very close. Gets super close to your face, like. And it's just like this sheer ice of a mirror. And you can see yourself cracking and reforming of your reflection.
The cracks go faster.
Umbra puts himself in front of you and the desk. And this thing looks down at it. I want one of you to make a roll, please.
I'll do it.
Wait, yeah, I was gonna be like, oh, what kind of roll?
What am I just a
What are we
D10?
rolling?
It's some
1d10,
kind of
2d10?
persuasion task.
I could do this then.
I can argue either of you can do it.
I have a 5 in my interaction.
You can only spend
I've,
one Bene at a time, though.
Okay, yes, true.
I have a level 2, so whichever you feel most comfortable. If you feel strongly about this, feel free to do it.
I want to try it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll use a Bene, so that gives me an extra dice.
Yes, you have 1
I
dice.
don't know why I suddenly can't
You
figure
get
out
an
what I'm
extra.
doing.
You get an extra circumstance, Bene. Also,
Okay.
the imprisoning ice is ardents. Get a +1 to their adventures,
I'm an ardent.
and you get an extra +1 for
Okay.
reasons.
So 2d10.
If you're using sortilege to use magic, yes.
I'm using a sortilege to use
Okay.
magic. I rolled a 5 and a 7.
This creature looks down at you, and then it lowers its head more and looks at Umbra. And the two of them seem to be having a conversation, though you do not hear anything. And
Umbra's in charge. We know this.
and then all of a sudden, the ice evaporates into steam. I will get you the information from the books over downtime. Because I might actually write some of this up and we will have a nice long break. So, is there any last minute stuff you all would like to talk about before I have one last minute thing to say before we end?
When
Only
Lillian,
that
sorry. When Lillian goes to grab the books, she stops for a second next to Umbra and says, "Thank you, friend."
He bumps you.
This is just for as we're leaving. I think the desk keeps trying to follow Alecto, like like an untrained dog, right? And Alecto's no, sit, go. But it tries to follow them down the stairs. It's a little bit of a mess.
It's cute.
You look really good with a pet, Alecto. Have you considered?
If I was, I would take one of your snakes, Ishmael. Don't tempt me.
But they look better on me, though, darling. Why would you want to take them away from me?
I have a little rabbit following me around as it is. I don't need any more.
I see.
I think also, at some point, Roshni would have pulled out the jar of moths that they had been carrying and, like, handed it over to Ishmael.
Oh?
I hear that you have a problem with your neighbor, Yasser, darling. If you ever want to make it so that he can't make any sound, this might be useful.
You have no idea what you've given this Ishmael! He looks at this, looks at you, Roshni, and just kind of just like, now this is incredibly helpful. Thank you, darling.
I told you I was better as a friend than an enemy.
I mean, I knew that the evening I met you.
Beautiful. And Eleanor, anything? Okay. Oh.
Yep.
So the last thing I will say is that within the next couple days, all 5 of you receive a letter delivered by Rat. It is addressed to you by name. And it is in elegant, fancy handwriting in fine paper saying, "Thank you for your assistance in the Hollows. I invite you and your friends to tea at the Revelation headquarters in 3 days' time." And that's where we are going to end the session tonight, everybody.
Oh, hell yeah! Oh, hell yeah! Ballroom episode? Tea episode!
Anyway, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us for session 6 of the Soul's Confidant. I was your game master Mare, and we are going to go around and do the end of session sign-offs, as well as whether we think our arcs have been advanced. So, who would like to go first today?
I'll go.
Beautiful, thank you.
As far as the arcs, yes, my arc went. I think we advanced my arc.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to say I got a Joy.
Okay.
Because I think we made a lot of progress, and I think Lillian is getting stronger with every time they do something.
And where can we find you?
Oh, and I'm April. You can find me everywhere on the internet as April Raygun. I am here on Tuesdays. I play Camp Half-Blood over at Carrying Comfort. On Friday, tune in to Sladies to see if I survived or if I'm dead. My character might be dead forever. We don't know. And starting in January, catch me on a Redwall D&D campaign over with Duval. So that was announced. So yeah. Oh, also next week, if you are at PAX, come check me out. I'm running Power Rangers. I'm running D&D, Kids on Brooms, and something else. So just come find me. I also got some panels, so I'll be everywhere at PAX. And I love everyone here.
Do you have a favorite part for the night?
Oh, tonight I have. Don't I do that after?
Oh, just general overall favorite part. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Oh, I was like, I have things written for everyone.
If we can always pass off to the next person if you would like.
Just pass off.
Okay.
I would tell everyone how much I love
Next.
them later.
Who wants to go next? I will volunteer.
I can
I'll
go.
go. Alex will go next.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Hello, my name is Alex. You can find me on Twitter at PhoenixXalotl. This is currently the only thing I'm working on. However, I'm graduating soon, and that's likely going to change coming into the new year. So let's see where that takes us. Let's see. Arcs, I feel like I advanced at least one. I genuinely don't know if I advanced growth, but I definitely advanced the other one.
You shot a woman.
I did. Does that count as growth, though?
Would the old Eleanor have done that?
You know, I don't know. So maybe, yeah, sure.
Mull it over.
Yeah, let's think about that one. But as far as joy or despair, I had to flip a coin on this one. Because on one hand, there was the secret we learned from Avilia, and there was also seeing Oliver again, but also there was seeing Emery, and I flipped the coin, and it did land in favor of joy, because Eleanor she was really happy to see her brother again. So I think I got to enjoy the session.
And as much of a shithead he's a good brother.
Yeah. And I think my favorite part of the session was seeing him, because he's great. And I've been waiting to see that character for a long time.
I've been waiting to bring this character in. Next. Tell us who's next, Alex.
Oh gosh. C, since I cut you off.
Hey y'all, my name's C. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a dancer, digital artist, tabletop streamer. Have I posted any art in the last 2 months? No, but I will, because I've been working on art nonstop. If you're interested in finding me more in the tabletop stream world, you can check me out on Transplanter RPG, which is an all transgender person of color led 100% homebrew D&D 5th edition actual play live stream, which streams every Saturday at 3 p.m. We just had a Unreal announcement, and I'll maybe let Hamnah take that one, just for kicks when we get to them. So that's just go check that out if you're interested in stuff like that. I play a horrible little blood hunter prince, so check me out there. Alecto, I think they did. Well, there's a complicated way that I think they progressed their arcs, their arc rather.
I trust you.
Today?
Yep.
And I think they did get a despair though, from just hashtag all that. So with that, I'll pass it to Hamnah.
Wowie. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Hamnah. I use any and all pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at hshahid_. That's HSHAHID_. I am a TTRPG performer, and that is where I will talk about all of the different projects I'm a part of. And see, kind of teased it a little bit. An announcement came out earlier last week that Transplanter RPG is actually expanding its main cast to include 4 new queer trans people of color onto the main cast, and I am one of them. Yay! So if you watched The Hounds of Mercy versus Ndake, I will be reprising my role as Duran Gadar. So if you like queer disasters, Duran is a very different kind of queer disaster than Roshni, but equally as queer, equally as disastrous. So follow me on Twitter and watch Transplanter RPG, because it's amazing. I am not biased at all. In terms of today, I do think that I progressed my arc, Mayor, if that's cool. And I'm actually going to make an argument for joy today. Avilia may have gotten away, but there's a way to contact her again. You know, she doesn't seem entirely hostile towards me. And also I got to see Emery, and, you know, gay shit with Alecto is great. So,
As
yeah,
always.
joy.
And last but not least, hi, I'm Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. This is my current only streamed game right now.
Did we do Val? Did we do
Oh,
Val?
I'm sorry for cutting you off, Val.
No, it's fine. I was just there like, will
Sorry.
I usurp the DM's last last privilege?
I'll finish. Since I started, I'll finish, and then you can lead us off. Hi, I'm Mary. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. This is also my only game right now. Playing. However, we have other games on the channel. We have on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the The Mind and the Martyr run by Red Mage Ray. And we also have in January, we have the Urban Shadows game being run by @Reliable Elliot on Twitter. Cast announcements should hopefully be as soon as I finish the promo image, but it's a great cast. And we had a little teaser spoiler, but there's also something coming up in February, a foreshot of a really cool game that's coming up. And we also have, it hasn't been announced yet, but we do have a charity one-shot this in a couple of weeks that should also be announced soon, so please keep an eye on our Twitter. That's all I got. Sorry, Val. Go ahead.
Don't be sorry. I'm enjoying just like sneaking and usurping your GM last privilege. I'm so sorry. Hi everyone, my name is Valiant, also known as Otso Spirit, but I use he, him, his pronouns, and I play Ishmael, who this disaster by Goetic. You can find me on Twitter at Valiant Dorian and most social media at Valiant Dorian. I think only my TikTok is weird at Otso Spirit Bear. I stream sometimes. We're trying to be better at being consistent. In terms of Ishmael's arc, I think he progressed his arc. Every week, it's like I think I just hop onto it. And I'm gonna argue for a joy this session because Emery flirted with Ishmael and called him hot, so I think that allows him to have a little bit of joy.
Emery is correct.
In all of the despair of not being able to see his very dear friend, his dearest friend, it's nice to have some validation. And what else am I meant to say? Arc, joy. Is there anything else? Favorite part? Alecto and Ishmael having a bro moment at House Without a Key.
Beautiful. And that's all we got for the evening. We are going to go raid Utopia, who is raising money with BIPOC Sci-Fi Day, and they're raising money for the Lupus Foundation of America. So everyone, go say hi, and if you have the means, please donate to a really, really good cause. This has been going on all weekend. I think this is one of their last games, but everyone go say hi in chat, and we will... also, this is our last game probably for the rest of the month. It's real life, it's holiday season. We might get something together, but we'll hopefully see you. We'll see you in the new year at the absolute latest. So we love you. Go say hi to Utopia for us, and we'll see you soon. Bye.